goes huge for the 4-piece. He's on a 7 streak right now. Make it 8.
Look at that misfortunals. Oh my goodness, the misfortune Falcons.
Je pense pas qu'elle rentrait des sur la barre et le tir de l'autre bout du terrain.
No one's able to stay alive for Waterloo as St. Clair throws down the ultimate.
White is not even the 1, 2, 3.
You know who they choose. One that I got it. Kick the door down, we are not knocking. You a dollar bill up in my pocket. I can see the future and it's looking like profit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Canadian Esports Nationals. I'm your host today, Matthias Talbot, also known as Moth Eyes, and it is day one, the group stages, and we will be covering the Valorant bracket for today. It's going to be St. Clair College versus Université de Montréal, a very respectable team here in the Canadian collegiate esports space, and I'm just excited to see how this match will end up. Both these teams have had really good runs. St. Clair is the team to beat, though, by far. They've won almost all. I think last year they won every single Canadian Nationals they played in, every single esport, so they're looking to continue that dominance. But let's take a look over at the bracket. Let's see what opponents they're going to have to be going up to today. Université de Montréal is their first opponent, and University of Calgary is over in the round 1B group. And now they have gotten their bye, so it's all set in stone here. St. Clair College or Université de Montréal, whoever wins this will have to go up against University of Calgary. And you'll have to try and get that win if you want to advance to playoffs. And it looks like in the losers round 1A, you also get a bye. So I don't think anyone's getting eliminated just yet today. It seems like most people will make it on through. It's all just going to depend how far do you want to make it. And now, as we get closer and closer in, this is just the first group. This is just Group A, the one St. Clair College is a part of, and the one we'll be focusing in on today. And now, if I do recall, we casted a lot of the games of the last Canadian Esports Nationals. Université de Montréal was a very competitive team. They brought their A game, but once again, St. Clair just always brings their dominance. You can just look at St. Clair's NACE run if you want to think about how strong they are. They had a pretty much undefeated run all the way through, and I don't know if anything can stop their momentum right now. But now, to get more into the game, I'm going to cover some of the maps. The maps for today are going to be Ascent, Pearl, or Ascent, Bind, and Pearl in that order. And it's always very interesting. These are all pretty much maps with no gimmicks aside from Bind, but let's be real, no one really uses those teleporters. Only in those clutch, crazy situations do we see those really come through. But nevertheless, it should be a very exciting match. Ascent, always a classic. I love seeing the new champs. Been playing way too much League. The new agents people bring in there. We've seen Gecko kind of be a flex pick, but we usually see KO being the main pick for that map. But then moving on to our second map, Bind. It's always an interesting map. There's a lot of walls. We've been seeing Breach be picked up quite some more in the meta, but I have a feeling it's going to be the typical picks of Omen, probably a Sky, probably a Jet or a Neon. We're seeing that kind of duelist flex there. But the Saints, interestingly enough, in their NACE games have been bringing Yoru as their duelist, or even a second duelist, just showcasing how confident they are in the game. And then if this does go to a map 3, which you never know, University of Montreal always brings their A game. I know most people are probably riding on St. Clair, but I say Montreal might have their day today. But once again, that last map being Pearl is once again had some changes so far, so it's quite interesting to see how players adapt to it. I mean, that B site used to be very unapproachable, but they really opened it up and made it so much easier to try and approach through the front door, you know. But a lot of mid control has been given up. And last time I saw the Saints play, because spoiler alert, I do cast those Saints games. They often give up mid control. So I think if Université de Montréal can try and exploit that, get the mid control, and really open up their options, I think they have a good chance of taking this entire series if they can bring it to a map 3. But that's a big if. It's really hard to bring St. Clair that far. But if there's anyone to do it, it might be Montreal. But hey, we're still in the group stages. I don't think the Saints will back down just yet. And now getting into my personal opinions. If I had to take a guess on how this match is going to go, I have to guess that I think it's still going to be a Saints 2. I think this is going to go the distance. I don't think this is going to be an absolute complete sweep. But if you made me take a guess, I would probably say it's a 2-0. But depending on how that first map goes, it could easily flip around another way. If this does go to an overtime, if this does go one game over to Montreal, I think they also have a very good job at taking this, especially if it goes to Pearl. I think the Saints' game plan on Pearl pretty much just relies on sheer strength of aiming and taking those gunfights. But tactically, I think it wants something there. So going forward with that knowledge, I think the game plan for Université de Montréal is play it slow, play it methodical, and try and just outthink the Saints. Because the Saints, they just play so aggressively. I think you can make them walk into those traps. And as for the Saints, I think their game plan is the same game plan they always run with. Full-on offense, break through the defenses, get the jump on the enemy, and just win as fast as possible. But it's Valorant. You can't always stay with the same game plan every single round. You have to switch it up, especially with how complicated Valorant can be. And I think with the new agent Vice, it should be a very, very interesting showcase on what they can do. I mean, just look at this agent. They have a wall, they have a flash that can go through walls, and their ultimate would totally counter out the Saints' game plan, shutting down all the guns, all the primary guns in a single area would be absolutely game-changing. And I'm just excited to see if Université de Montréal has a Vice on their team, if they have those tricks up their sleeves that the Saints just aren't used to or unprepared for. I think it'll be a very, very interesting match. But with all that being said, we're just waiting to load in. We're going to throw it over to a very quick break and be right there with Game 1. All right, the readies are sent. We're ready to get into game very soon. And the first map is going to be Ascent, the classic. One of the first maps most of us have played Valorant on. So let's load right in and see which agents we get to see on the showcase. And let's run through the lineups of Université de Montréal. It's going to be Shinji, Laxor. It's going to be Lulu, Jojo, and Axken. And it's looking like, of course, it's Ascent. It's always the typical teams that you love to see. St. Clair College having a little bit of fun highlighting two Phoenixes, but I really don't see them taking Phoenix into this game. I mean, I've never really seen Phoenix be played on a high-level collegiate level, but the Saints like to have their fun, so I wouldn't put it past them to try and bring some of that fun in. And I mean, Phoenix did get a buff quite recently. He now has I think more charges of flashes. They're a little bit easier to use. They regen over time now. So he's a much more competent duelist and can kind of act as a pseudo second initiator at that. He kind of does it all. The molly to cover it off, the wall to be as a little pseudo controller, and of course those flashes. Nevertheless, let's load into the game. St. Clair College, you'd be starting on the defense. Seth playing the Killjoy, Fair playing the Jet, Caillou playing that Phoenix, Truth playing the Silva, Smiley playing the Omen, Shinji on the Omen on the side of Université de Montréal, Laxior on the Jet, Lulu on the Killjoy, Jojo on the KO, and of course, we have that last but not least, we have the Silva on Université de Montréal. Now, as we get into the buy phase, it's pistol round. There has been a rumor going around that the Saints cannot win pistol round. They struggle on that one, but they've really proven people wrong, especially in their NACE run. They've had a good time of buying these guns and doing absolute work with them. And of course, I don't know how this Phoenix is going to work out. It should be pretty fun to watch. I mean, Phoenix can get up to some crazy hijinks here. It looks like they're planning something out with that hate approach. If I know the Saints, they're going to go on the offense here, searching for these kills. Université de Montréal creeping up into mid at the current point in time. Looks like they're going to try and breach in through tree and get a little bit of a jump on the Caillou, unknowingly prepping a flash for the A-man. I mean, they hear the footsteps. They just don't know where they're coming from. Fair finding a nice headshot, getting out, but not unscathed. Fair is now just one bullet away. But some would say fair is fair. That's what you get for getting a shot off. Now Shinji waiting here in the corner, waiting for the Saints approach. Especially without a flash, this Phoenix is going to have a way tougher time breaking through. Go for the jump shot, can't quite find it. Shinji finding one, Smiley going to find the other. Laxior has his back though, Guardian Angel taking one from the grave. And now it is a 3-on-3, but Fair doesn't really have much more life left to live in him. One more bullet and that's going to spell the end. 29 seconds remain for Université de Montréal. They go in, running headshot from Axon is absolutely insane. They get the spike planted down on the site. And now the pressure is on for St. Clair. Will they break their reputation of pistol round, or will we see them lose another iconic one? It's going to be Laxior getting the headshot. It's now whittled down to one save, who's one bullet away. Université de Montréal has everything they need to win this one. Spike down, time is taking Fair, has no more. Gets the headshot though, 3 kills, but Lulu is going to shut him down. Want to know is the scoreline going into the next round. Now we are back in the buy phase. St. Clair College being put on the back foot here. It's going to be tough to come back from this one. But Fair somehow having enough money to buy an outlaw. I mean, you get money for kills and you got 3 of them there. It goes to show. Play your cards right. Even if you lose, you can still come out a little bit richer. This outlaws can do absolute work on the enemy team. I severely doubt they bought heavy shields going into this round. Most people prefer to buy a Vandal or a little bit heavier artillery going in to this next round rather than bringing the heat. But that's going to be Caillou finding Axon with the classic. That's going to be an absolutely massive pick. If Axon did bring in one of those guns, that upgrade over to Caillou is going to be sorely missed by Montreal. Fair finding one with the outlaw. once these real guns are in the hands of St. Clair, really starts to take control of the scene here. Jojo creeping in on through, lurking in the smoke, pings being sent out wildly. They know there's a few here, but I don't think they know they're laying in wait behind these walls. Jojo trying to play the defense very, very carefully here. Peeking out, challenging an outlaw is not what you want to do, especially when you're up against Fair. Recon Bolt goes out. They see him in the corner. They don't have much wallbanging potential here. It's a thrifty round for them, but they're still going to send all their bullets downfield here. Led down range. Jojo going to find a pick. Truth with the ever-trusty Sheriff just firing off some warning shots here, trying to flush him out, scare him out of that corner. Moving in, though, the flash comes through, and he's going to be taken down. Seth, though, with the molly gets the kill. And with the turret, that's just Util doing all the work, and that's why you always bring the killjoy.
Oh, this is a much better trajectory.
Going into the third round, it's 1-for-1, but with that, the Saints reset University's win bonus. They have no loss bonus to speak of here. This is going to be an absolutely thrifty round for Université de Montréal. I mean, it should be an absolute wash for the Saints here. They have everything they need to make it work. But going into the last round, that's what we thought about Montreal. But that's what they did. They always prove us wrong. That's the wonder of esports. Always keep you guessing. Fair! Not guessing, just knowing where the headshot's going to land. In truth, finding one through the wall with the Odin. They have them cornered. They bring the Phoenix to lock them down with a molly. Smiley with the paranoia fuzz. 1, 2. Can he buckle his shoe with the third? No, it's going to be Caillou stealing the kill. It's going to be Saints winning the round. And now, an absolutely amazing round from the Saints. I truly wonder how this is going to go. Fair really hogging all the kills in the game right now. Montreal doing a better job at spreading the love, one apiece all around down there. But Fair not playing fair this round, most likely bringing in the Bucky to just cover that close range option if you need it. But they have the knives at the ready. And I'm absolutely terrified what he's about to do here. Armed with that jet alt, Fair does some very, very precarious things. Smiley in the corner, Lashore trying to move in here. Molly going out, drone going out, the paranoia, all the util just trying to slow down Montreal so the Saints can rotate in, and they're getting there in time. But Lashore finding an absolute peak kill through the smoke. But Fair is on the back line with the knives, finds 1, 2, looking for the third. Cannot find it though. Jojo with stalwart resolve gets the kill and saves the team from absolute doom. And now they're struck in the corner. Jojo trying to peek around. Gonna get taken out by True. Spike is down, and Shinji not gonna get the congratulations this time. Seth is gonna shut him down. And now the Saints have really started their roll. The snowball has started to roll down that hill, and I have a feeling an abominable snowman is going to be made soon enough. I mean, it's winter time. You saw the Winter Wonderland ad. It's getting a little bit chilly here, but it's starting to heat up for the Saints in Valorant. Caillou has that Phoenix ult, and I'm scared for what he will do here. When you enable someone at St. Clair College to just go in on the all-out offense and get no repercussion for it, I mean, that's when things start to get unfair. The flash around the corner. They know they're there. He's just waiting for the footsteps at the right moment. Send out the wall. Seth gonna find one with the molly. They're stuck back here. I think we just had a disconnect. Lulu. Now Fair finding one. I think Caillou finding another. Gonna get a kill right back. We're still just being picked off one by one. Just the jet remains with the knives, and that's just an absolutely unfortunate disconnect. You hate to see it, but the Saints still winning this round dominantly. You just gotta wonder what would have happened if the disconnect did not go through. Now the Saints just lurking, waiting, lining up the kill. That is going to be a win for St. Clair once again. And now with the disconnect being taken, yeah, a tech pause at the 10-second mark. That's what you expect to see. And honestly, I don't know how else this would go. Let's take a look at the money. The Saints doing absolutely impeccably right now, and Montreal in a really rough spot, especially after that last round. Now, The tech pause has been initiated. We're down. Oh, he's back already. Very quick tech pause. Luckily enough, we're not going to delay this amazing game any longer. Everybody's sending ours in the chat. We're all ready. Thank goodness we didn't have to go to a break here. Jojo has the ult ready. Axon has the ult ready as well. I mean, Université de Montréal, this is their comeback round. VALORANT operates on a flow, on a rhythm, on a tempo, a win, a loss, a win, a loss. Let's see. This is the time they could get a win, but with Caillou finding the opening pick, that's going to be pretty rough. Lashore going to find one. Fair going to find another.
Cover going out.
It's 3-on-4. Saints now 3-on-3. This is just an absolute bloodbath at display here. Axkin finding one. And now the Saints on the back foot here. They really don't want to lose this round, especially not flushing out some of these ults. It would be absolutely atrocious for them. But Spike down mid, that's a big pick. Can Seth win this gunfight? He does win it. And now one remains. He has the ult. He could shut down the util, try and go in on this Killjoy. But they absolutely know what's coming here. Around the corner, he finds one. He finds two out of nowhere. Jojo winning the round in a clutch situation, bringing the Saints to their knees, and now they're going to have to try and keep pace here. They need to win this round, or else Université de Montréal is most assuredly going to have a comeback situation here. As we look towards the scoreline, I mean, there's a lot to see here. You can look over at Seth, has that lockdown. Caillou still waiting on that. Oh, that was pretty sure he was going to try and go in guns blazing the first round he had it, but I'd like to see that Caillou has that risk to hold on to it. Try and plan for the next push, and just keep on keeping cool, calm, and collected. Truth moving in as the Odin. The flash goes out. A little bit of a weird graphics delay there. Fair finding the headshot, looking for another, but you don't take 2-on-1. Right, Fair? Right, Fair? That's not fair. That's insane. He wins the headshot. And Caillou, now it's a 2v1 for Lulu. They have Spike down. They're just going in. One shot on Jojo. Somehow he wins out that fight, but luckily the Phoenix ult keeps Phoenix up, alive, and healthy enough. But not for long. Truth is going to take down Axon. Now it is 5v2. What are you going to do, Montreal? You have 4 ults. You don't have a lot of money, but you still have some rounds to spare. This is most likely going to be a thrifty round. And if I'm Jojo, if I know anything about VALORANT, when I used to play it a little bit competitively back in the day, people would say, you got to buy off the team, Jojo. What are you doing here? They're going to opt for the hero vandal play, pretty much? Or, yeah, they definitely are. Just going to keep the money in line. It's a pretty smart move. Going to keep the Saints guessing. I mean, you want them to try and be your opener to maintain that distance. We don't want to lose it too early. Location Hope going out. Looks like he's going to be the one to turn the corner. Smiley finding a shot with that outlaw on Lashore. It's going to be absolutely brutal. Oh, he didn't check the corner. Shinji with a beautiful TP headshot combo brings Seth out of the game. It's 4-on-4. There's a huge fight brewing here. You can definitely tell that the pressure is on. Smiley going in, running headshot. Axon finds another headshot. It's 3-on-3. Spike is down. Time is ticking for St. Clair on the defense. Gonna opt to pop that lockdown. Flush them all out. Keep them all on the line. Jojo finding one more. Just 2 more remain on the side of the Saints. They want to try and bring this one back. They're down and out. The knives get popped. Fair going in for one last-ditch effort. Can't find the shots, but finds one with Truth. They're flushing them out around the corner. Do they have the time to break it? They just might. And that's it. They manage to defuse the Spike. That's enough time on the board, but just barely enough. Props to Montreal for holding on, but you got to give a little bit more props over to St. Clair College for taking it to 6-2. This is definitely looking to be a St. Clair-sided map so far, but this is the defense. I find a lot of teams do prefer the attack, or do prefer the defense when you are playing on Ascent. It's just a little bit easier to maintain. There's only 2 sites. There's no gimmicks. There's only around 3 points to entry on each map. On each map, only 3 points of entry to watch. You know, some maps have more than that, which is absolutely crazy. But speaking of craziness, let's get right back into the insanity we have on display here. There is the ult popped by Caillou, finding one, finding another, shutting down the absolutely lethal ult on JoJo. No one can find the res, they're just camping him now. Fair finding 3, Axon shutting him down, but it's going to be Caillou with the final headshot. It's going to be defenders winning that round. St. Clair bringing it 7-2. The question on everyone's mind now is, can Montreal stop the bleeding here? Can they try and turn this one around? I mean, they've been dealt a grievous wound right now, and it's not looking good. They still have time to bring this to a competitive half. I mean, you have 3 rounds left. 10-2, that's not where you want to be. You want to be at that 7-5. If there's any round to try and start bringing it back, it's here. Started off on a thrifty. Put a decimation to the Saints' economy, and you have to start somewhere. But it's going to be a tough road to climb. I mean, you have guns that are at a marked disadvantage against the Saints. Smiley finding a key pick right there, shutting down the Marshall. That's one thing that could take him out, but the other thing that could take him out is Shinji. Fair finding another as well. 7-2. Shinji gets a nice upgrade, and that's what you need if you want to stay in this. Fair. The rest of the team encroaching onto the point. They find 1-2. They close out the round. A little bit of a sheriff upgrade there. 8-2 is the scoreline, and the Saints are looking to run away with it. As we take a look at the money, you can definitely tell the Saints are on cloud 9 right now. Absolutely filled to the brim with cash, money, dosh, and moolah, whatever you want to call it. Their stocks are up. If you're an investor, you'd be investing in the Saints. But you always got to believe in Montreal, you know. Got to buy the dip, and that's what they're doing here. They're buying those guns. They're investing everything they have into this round because this half is almost over. But it looks like a market has crashed. Fair and Caillou manipulating the market with their weapons, taking 1, 2, 4 down. It's all down to Shinji. And I bet he wished he had a robot to help him here. But it's going to be Killjoy, leader of the robots, taking him down with Smiley, the enemy Omen, spelling the end for
last round before
Montreal.
the switch.
Last round before the swap. This is going to be the 9-3 curse round everybody always talks about. This could be the point where you flip it around, you take it back in your hands, and you take things back into consideration. And now if you look back over at St. Clair College, if they're in this round, all of that stands between them and victory is one more game. One more round will do it, and you will win the half 10-2. Let's see. Now you go back over to mid. The Saints just going on an all-out offense. JoJo and Lashur gonna punish that rightly. I mean, what are you doing, Saints? Sometimes they just get these ideas in their heads that they can do anything, but they're not going to. Now, Truth going to be moving in. Having a very tough time here. Truth rounding the corner. You have that Odin. You find one. You get out scot-free. How long? That's the question. Should be waiting patiently, waiting for the right moment to go in. Accent moving in. Seth going to take him down. Now Lulu going to find the key headshot there on Seth, keeping this competitive 2-3. The Saints in a really bad situation. I mean, they're even on guns. They're not even on people. It's going to be an even harder thing. Now it's even on people. Fair finding a beautiful headshot from across the map. Shinji using that ult. It's the last round. You have it. Might as well use it to get the plant down. Now it's all about playing the defense.
Cover going out.
Over on A. They put the smoke up. But can they play around it here? Truth doesn't really care about that smoke. He's got 100 bullets in the mag ready to just disperse them at leisure. Fair finding one though through the smoke, just moving with confidence, face checking the smoke, and now Lulu unable to land the shots. Fair landing that key headshot is going to bring the scoreline to 10-2. A defender's win for St. Clair College. And at this point, this is looking like this game might be sealed. You have to wonder, though. They got a 10-round run in. Perhaps Montreal could get a 10-round run of their own. But it's not looking all too good. Fair just absolutely showing he's on another level. I mean, he has over double the kills his teammate has in second place, and I think he has almost more kills than the top 3 on the enemy team. I think he has more kills than the bottom 4 of the enemy team. It's just JoJo that's throwing off that kill line here. It's gonna be Caillou and Fair being the ones you want to shut down if you're on the side of Montreal.
Watch your eyes.
Flash goes in. That's why Caillou's here. You have the all-out offense. When ball goes up, firewall goes up, blocking out the site. Healing goes through. JoJo finds one. Shinji gets the blind. Loshore gonna find another. Seth gonna find one more. They're all getting taken down. The Saints falling down to nothing. We can cut down the ribbons, but that's going to be it. Université de Montréal winning a much-needed round. And as we move on through the next coming rounds, now St. Clair is on the back foot, which is not something we've seen pretty much this whole series. They won that pistol round. They've been on a roll ever since the beginning, and now the momentum has finally stopped. But they're going for an interesting gameplay. They're going to have fun with it. They're going to all buy shorties and play some very tricky games here. Lulu, though, finding an absolute beautiful pick. 2 blinds go out. Axon finding 1, 2, another one. The Saints, I think, hoping they would push the smoke, but Montreal is smarter than that. They're not going to run blindly into an enemy smoke. Axon gonna find one more. Fair looking for at least 1 kill and upgrade a Spectre. I don't think that's the gun he wants. Gets shut down with the Bulldog on the side of Loshore. And now it's 10-4. Everybody check the time. It's going to be a fun time. That's all I know. The Saints are going to have money once again. Money in the bank is going to be pulled out, invested into just some absolutely amazing guns. We're seeing Vandals all around. 1 Phantom. And Fair probably just trying to slow down that kill line right now. 25 kills. I have no idea why he's bringing a Bucky here. Most people would bring a Sheriff if you wanted to save some money. But hey, Jet can play this. Jet can move up in the air. Why not? Let's see what he can do. Yeah, that's not going to be very much. JoJo just locked in here, finding it 2 absolutely wonderful kills. 2 agents suppressed as well. JoJo just absolutely leading his team to victory here. But they have no one watching that other end. They're all hovering over on the A site, really anxious to lock down that A site. Lulu gonna rotate over to B, leave a turret to cover mid, just listen for the sound cue to cover any enemies that dare poke through. Now, tension is palpable. Sending out an arrow, gonna get some info here. Really trying to break in on the site. Smiley on the flank has 2 enemies sniffing him out. Will he be able to get out unscathed? That's the question on everyone's minds. In my mind, though, is what the heck is happening over on A. And where did Smiley's babysitters go? There it is, putting him in time out with the Bulldog. And now, moving in. They can't quite break through. St. Clair just being cut down to ribbons. Only 2 players left on that team. The Guardian already trying to get headshots through the wall. Can't quite find it. Truth, though, with the punish. I would be very surprised and very impressed if the Saints are able to turn this one around.
10 seconds left.
Scanning ahead.
Now, the spike goes down. Spike is planted. Let's see what Truth and the rest of the team can do. Loshore finding 1 headshot with that Bulldog. It's a 1v4. Spike is down, and Loshore just doing absolutely amazing work here with the Bulldog, shutting them all down and bringing Montreal to a 10-5 scoreline. And now, I don't think many people believed it to be even possible. Montreal's having a generational run here. I mean, they could bring this back. If they can bring this to 10-10, they'll be right back in it. It's up to the Saints now to try and stop their roll. But let's take a look over at their guns. They're going for a thrifty, and they're not going to just stick with the classics. They're going to buy some Sheriff, some nice stuff indeed. And now, it's looking like an absolute total role reversal. Fair. That's why you bought the Bucky. You're investing in the hero Vandal. I mean, if you need a round to have a hero, now is the time. The clock is about to strike 12 here. Let's see if they're able to make it on through. The round has begun. They're taking a lot of mid control already. They're moving in faster than we can even perceive. I mean, look at that. They're already deep in the enemy spawn. Gonna go for the window shot, can't quite find it. Shinji though finds a headshot over on Truth, and Jojo finding one over on Fair. Steph finding one with the Sheriff, but you lost your Vandal, guys. You don't have that range to play at anymore.
Spike planted.
Spike is planted, and now it's just time ticking away to see who took this one. Smiley waiting in the wings of Spike, waiting at Purgatory between heaven and hell right here. Be located by that recon bolt. Caillou playing Splinter Cell right now, finding a key headshot. Seth getting a weapon upgrade, finding the headshots where it counts. Now they just run up the clock, put the pressure on, line up the targets, knock them down. The Saints put it up to 11-5, and now they are well within winning this one. Let's see if they can. Let's see. Let's take a look over at the money. Because if the money is still competitive, yeah, Université of Montréal has to win this round. If they lose this one, they'll be down and out for that 12th round. That's not going to be looking good. You at least need to win one more so you get that bounce back around right back into the swing of things. Fair looking relatively good here. I mean, not even gonna buy shields. Gonna try and opt for more util. I mean, Fair doesn't even need shields. It seems like it's either a one-shot headshot going his way or coming at his way. Either or. It's never somewhere in between. We don't get body shots here. A little bit of a crash here in this backside. CP a little congested. Fair and Smiley finding one. Flash goes out. Move in. Caillou gonna find one. And they're all going to fall down. 12-5 is the scoreline. And now Montreal, not much money left in the bank. But you have to be wondering, maybe when your back's up against the wall, you have something more within you. But honestly, with count them, 4 ultimates on the side of the Saints, this is going to have to be the best Valorant ever played before already in the early rounds. If you want to take this one back, sure, you can try and get this one back, but we're already on match point. The Saints just had such a good run on the defense. Montreal, a good run on the offense, but I don't know if it's enough. They're going in, gets the flash, gets the paranoia, but still somehow finds the knife kill. But luckily for Montreal, that is a resable option. It's just a little bit of an awkward spot. Caillou, though, getting the shutdown. They're pinching really hard here, and they shut them down. The knives go out from Lochiar. Tries to find a few more. Can't quite find it. The Saints going to use that Phoenix passive of regenning to get them back up to speed. It's not that bad. They're cauterizing the wound here. They're moving in on to this B site. You have Seth. If you can get the spike down without committing the lockdown, you'll have bought yourself a lot of time. Caillou popping that Phoenix ult to get the refresh on the shields. Smart move, and to get the info as well of where the sniper is set. Finding a key headshot, and now going to start the plant on the spike. Caillou getting in position to watch the flank. And now it's either the long way around for Montreal or no way. Lochar has 2 HP. 1 bullet is all it needs to take it all the way to the end. It looks like Seth is just waiting in the wings, waiting for a single headshot. Caillou, though, is going to be able to run out the clock potentially. No, Shinji gets the headshot. He needs to move quick. He needs another kill. Truth going in with the headshot, running headshot. They get the kill. Attackers win. And St. Clair College is going to be taking game 1 in this best of 3 series. But that's not all we have, folks. That's not all we have. We also have, coming up next, a map, a game on Bind, another classic map we've seen time and time again. But before we go to that, I have to say one thing. We have to talk about how amazing Fair's performance was. I think by the end of it, he almost had more kills than the entire enemy team. They really brought it back, though, in that attacking half. I have to give props to Montreal. And I do hope they wake up in this game too and have an attacking run that they can be proud of here. I mean, they did have one in that second game. It was just the defense came just a little bit too late, and their attacking was just not what they needed. And now going into bind, you have a little bit more trickery at foot, and I hope Montreal uses that to their advantage. But with all that being said, I have to wonder, what are you going to bring? What are you going to bring into bind? The same type of bringing Yorio and Sky. I don't quite know what Montreal will be bringing in. I wonder if it will be the same thing, but I think the Saints play a little bit more off meta. I would love to see a Gecko. I would love to see a lot more. And the one thing I would love to see is a Vice. That's what we're all hoping to see. The new agent, always so much fun to see. But with all that being said, we are going to throw it over to a very quick break. We'll be right back with Game 2. Hello everybody, we are back here with round 2. Game 2, I should say. St. Clair taking that first game over on Ascent. We're moving in on to bind. And hey, Fair, I see where you're playing at. Maybe you heard my phrases. And hopefully, we're going to see a Vice in play finally. A lot of new agents, much more newer meta being picked over on the side of St. Clair College. I mean, they've already locked in the Neon, the Clove, and the Deadlock, all newer characters people weren't really used to just yet. And if we turn our attention over on Montreal, things are looking a lot more typical, a lot more what you're usually used to seeing. If they do pick the Vice, though, I'll be thoroughly surprised. They're locking in the Shinji Omen once again, and hey, I don't mind it. I don't mind the Shinji Omen. It looks pretty good. I love to see it. I love to see that guy go all the way. And now, let's see what they really lock in. Fair, most likely going to lock in the Vice. I really hope so. Lulu for sure going to lock in the Vice. Axon locking in the Gecko. We love to see it. A lot of newer characters, or characters we don't really see, be locked in here. Something I love to see personally. But hey, it's bind. Montreal is in a bind. They really want to win this one. You don't want to not make it to the playoffs. They want to try and go the distance. St. Clair College, looking to take this one all the way. As we load into the map here, one thing I do want to comment on is I have no idea if Fair will have the same explosive potential on Vice that they did when they were on Jet. Jet really enables those people who want to try and go all out on the offense. It's going to be a much more restrained gameplay style, I believe, especially on the attack.
There.
We see Lulu
There.
on the Vice, prepping all the lovely, lovely traps. I mean, who doesn't love agents that have setup phases? It's always very fun to watch the lineups, the little sneaky traps they lay, and watch how they walk into those. And now the Saints, they've been winning these pistol rounds so far. Can they win this one? With how similar these games have been, I wouldn't be surprised if these pistol rounds end up amounting a lot here. You need to get your first footing in. You can try and take this one. Lashore going to be taken down by Fair. Just going in the Neon. Overwhelming force is the Saints game plan. If you have the aim to back it up, hey, why not use it? The smoke from Clove covering the wall.
Planted.
Very interesting and intelligent practice there. The creep in. A headshot from long range isn't going to get the kill, but it's brings them narrowly close. Trade comes through. Axon going to find one. Now Montreal down to just the last two. Fair, though, still having that explosive potential. Hey, I was asking questions and I have my answer. 3 kills going the way of the Vice. Looks like it's not the character, it's the player. Proven once again by Fair. Now you have to be wondering, where do we go from here? Where do you plant that spike? For me, it's looking like it's going to be a split push here. If you're St. Clair College, you don't want to really build up a rhythm here. You want to try and keep Montreal guessing. You don't want to commit to just one big push. You want to try and commit to a little bit of tricks. They might be unknowingly walking into all that Vice until they run in through the portal. Absolutely amazing plan. And while they get the lockdown and a kill, they all fall down to 1. It's done. Player remaining. Shinji getting the headshot, keeping the dream alive, but not for long. Smiley grinning from ear to ear. 3 kills in the bank. 2 rounds overall for St. Clair College. And finally, Montreal has their bounce back round. They're here buying some decent guns finally for once in this game. And let's see what they can do on this defense. I mean, they had an amazing defense on the last map. They really brought it back there. But can they keep that up? Can they transfer some of that energy into this one? We've seen before with the Saints, they were down 2 rounds at some point, or even up 2 rounds. It's all about this. It's all about setting the tempo in your favor. Montreal can definitely scale this back, especially when you get the first blood. Smiley, perched up on the boxes with the smoke, moving in. Lulu, tracking the corner carefully, goes out, but not going to find all too much. You get hit by 1, but oh no, you're caught reloading, and Smiley just going to hit the 1 tap, a boop, you're gone. Get the overheal as well when you're playing Clove. That's not the person you want to be unsuspectingly going up against. Behind you, Axton.
Spike planted.
Now, a bit of a role reversal. Gonna send little buddy out.
Sound sensor up.
An attempt to beat you. Smiley. He's not gonna make it though.
Last
Shut that
player
down.
standing.
Shinji's gonna find 1. It's pretty even across the board. And now the rounds are getting up there, man. It's getting pretty close. Lashore gonna get the defuse, and Montreal gonna get their first win. Montreal now 5 points deep for your top 3 players. That's not a bad place to be. You're all about just a few points away from the alts, but now Smiley has an ult, and with Clove ult, that means that's pretty much 2 Smileys you're going to have to burn through, if need be, if the round calls for it. So now, let's see what happens here. In the corner, playing very carefully, sending out the concussion. They find it. Gonna just barrel on through the molly. The aim with the flash is not on point, but the recovery is beautiful from Truth. Now they're moving in on site. Montreal has to try and bring this one back here. They're scattered. They're trying to move in on through the flame wall, covering that much-needed visions. Jojo, if there's anyone to do it, it's going to be Jojo. You need some absolutely outstanding powers here to try and break in on through. Axkin going to shut down little buddy there. Shinji prepping the smoke. Axkin turning around. Fair getting the kill. 2 players remain on the side of Montreal. Now it's down to 2 Saints. But now so many trades come through. Back to back to back. Saints coming on top. And now 3 rounds in, Montreal gonna start feeling that money not being quite enough. At least you're building up a loss bonus once again. That's your only saving grace. But you do have 3 ultimates on the board. That is also another benefit you do have here. But in terms of money, they're just going to try and do some of these force buys, as we call them here in the Valorant industry. They're forced to try and stay competitive. You really need to swing things away. At least one of these rounds, especially when they're so close. The Vice ult goes forward, though, shutting down any guns over on A. It's going to be clear for Montreal. They're not going to find all too much there. No one's going to be hit by that. So, luckily enough, you're not going to have to deal with that, and no one's up having their guns jammed. Up. It goes out. There's a flash. Smiley finding one, but that's a recall. Smiley gonna have to use the res. You need to find a buyback, though. You have a time limit, and you find it immediately. I mean, get the receipt and the return immediately. There's Jojo finding one, Steph finding another. Hayu looking in for that last and final kill. Axkin asking no more questions, just dispensing answers with his gun. Has him in on the back line, 25 HP. Guardian Gamer locks in, finds the headshot, but can't find all too much. As Seth finds 3 kills for the round. And now, 4 rounds in, Montreal not looking too great. This is tough because you did go for that force buy. It's not looking all too great anymore. It's going to be a very, very tough job of bringing this one back. I mean, you just have to think. You have 2 ultimates. You have some good weapons here. Let's try and bring this one back. If you're St. Clair, though, you're probably feeling very, very confident, feeling very happy moving in on through this game. Absolutely amazing, amazing run through here. Caillou running through on the site, finding the headshot. The Saints just continuing their dominance. Université de Montréal down 2 members already. The plant going through. Truth keeping them at bay with that laser beam of an ultimate. Now Truth in the corner with the Bucky. Paranoia goes in on through. Doesn't find much, but if Truth finds a shotgun here, that's going to be absolutely brutal. And he does get the kill. And now it's a 3-on-2. Montreal just caged in. Can't find the approach, but Axkin finally finds the back door. But they're just going to say, no, no, no. You need a knock before you come through that back door, or else you're going to be met with the cold hard truth, which is a shotgun. 5-1 is a scoreline. Saints really having an amazing run right now. And once again, the tempo is set. This is going to be a thrifty round for Montreal. Luckily, the tempo gets less and less harsh the more losses come through, but you really don't want to be maxing out on that scoreline. And now, this is just looking absolutely insane. I mean, a generational run for sure for the Saints, but Shinji can end that right then and there. It's traded out with the showstopper. I mean, the Saints being absolutely unforgiving, not letting Montreal have even a single win here. Just trying to keep the mentality down. Smiley finds 1, looking for more. Just 2 more remain on the side of Montreal. They're trying to move in here. Lashore moving in on the back line here. But wow, Seth walking into his own grenade, limping through, but now it gets all the way eliminated. Lulu trying to get the shotgun. Not gonna quite happen. There it is. There's the deadlock ultimate. Gonna capture 1. They're gonna be dragged back in on through. No one left to save them. And that's going to be a kill. 6-1 is the scoreline for St. Clair College. And Montreal going to really have to try and bring this one back here. We're only a little over halfway through this first half, quarter way through, if you like your maths, if you like your fractions. But it's all up to Montreal to try and bring this one back. It's not impossible. We're still here in the buy phase. They have their guns. They're going to buy an op. Axkin going to try and make good use of that money, because if you don't, it's going to be a very, very expensive round for all of them. Get on through. Look sharp, waiting in the wings, prepping the flash. Fair. Somehow having amazing movement with the Odin, though. Beautiful flash, gonna shut him down. Lulu and the rest of the team just absolutely decimating the Saints. Smiley, though, coming back from the brink, doesn't even have the ultimate yet. Somehow keeping the team alive. It feels like it was dead, but somehow reviving this game like a necromancer, keeping everything nice and ready for the Saints. Beautiful dodge right there, shuts it down. But Shinji staying locked in here, gets the running headshot and shuts it down. 6-2. This could be the start of a comeback for Montreal. Askin luckily keeping that operator, at least having it taken back for him. 3 ults on the side of Montreal, and if they really choose to commit them here, they could walk away from this round finally being in the lead, to be the pace setter, to try and be the ones, the difference makers, and put St. Clair on the back foot. Started, the lanes are up. Neon barreling on through. Lulu opposite of Neon, slow as a snail, getting concussed. Grenaded, netted up. Not a lot on that side. Lulu finding kill. Lucio finding another. Smiley shutting one down. But it's 3 on 4. Seth finding another. It's not going to count. Smiley finding one more. That Phoenix is still up there. Remember, it's an ult. You can't relax just yet. Shinji finding one. It is a 2v1 situation. Never mind. The ult comes through for Smiley. Back from the grave is the Grim Reaper, looking to try and reap some souls. Axkin delivering mighty justice with the operator. There it is. Smiley getting the shutdown. 1v2 situation. Lay down some smokes to your team, Smiley. You gotta try and keep things locked in. And Smiley with 4 kills, 2 lives, and an ultimate committed. An absolutely amazing case from Smiley and St. Clair as a whole. And now Montreal probably isn't feeling too great about that. You lost an op. You have enough money to buy some guns, but not enough to match the Saints. Now you do have 2 ultimates, but it's really only going to be that Vice ultimate you're counting on. You really need to shut down some of these guns if you want to try to stop the Saints. Fair. Just barreling on through in a hailfire of flashes. Axkin going to shut that down. Low short going to find another. There's Axkin prepping that gobbledygook right there, taking all the spacing away from the Saints, but Truth going to stay patient, run on through. They need to try and reclaim the spike. The Vice ult goes through. Axkin going to shut that right down. Smiley now next in line to the shotgun gauntlet here in Hookah. They have the spike. Can they break on through? Axkin getting absolutely so much value out of just a stinger. What is that, 3 kills? That's also going to be another kill. Lulu finding the last kill. But honestly, Montreal, if you keep punishing the Saints for their absolutely crazy actions there, they'll have a really good shot at taking this to a game 3. There's only a few more rounds left in this half, and we really did see Montreal wake up once they got that sides to flip, so we might be seeing a very similar story here. But the Saints, I know, aren't going to let up off the gas. They're going to keep on revving the engine until they're just out of gas and all they're left is that nitrous. I know it's not street legal, but I know the Saints have that aftermarket fuel going in there. Lulu finding 2 kills, though. Reigning in the law with the Vandal. Finding 3 kills. Count them, 3 kills. Fair. Last one alive. gonna have to duel it out with Shinji, and Shinji just finding an absolutely impeccable headshot, shutting it down. 7-4, the best the Saints can do now is 8-4, and honestly, that's not as demoralizing of a half as Montreal had to go through in the first one, especially if they bring this to 5-7. You win a pistol round, you win the next one, you're back in it 7-7. I wouldn't be surprised if this one goes to an overtime at this rate. We still have quite a few more rounds left in here. It's the last round and a half. Last time we see them on the defense. Hopefully they end it out with a win if you're a fan of Montreal. If you're a Saints fan, though, I have a feeling this one might go their way. The TV comes through. He's still going to get caught out. No more primary for Shinji. Caillou going in off through with the shotgun. Smiley finding a headshot with that Guardian. Spike isn't planted. Let's see what they can do. Lulu finding one. Dog going in, finding the concussion. Lulu finding another. Lulu being an absolute force of nature in the second game that we did not see on Showcase the first one, but JoJo waking up back into that role. Shinji finding another. It's all down to one on St. Clair College. This Caillou, the shotgun in the corner. The defense is coming through, but you really want Lulu on that defuse. They have no health left. If he just sprays it through, finds one bullet, no, he can't find it. Caillou gonna find all the kills, try and make it expensive, but Loshar gonna get right click and shut it down.
Switching sides.
Now, this is looking to be the beginning of a new era. Montreal 5-7. They have a lot riding on this pistol round. And based on what happened last time, I think the Saints did lose that second pistol round, so they're really on pace to take this one. They're used to the Saints' actions on this map. If they play adaptively, they could spell a lot of trouble for the Saints. The Saints probably very stressing out quite a bit right now. This game is starting to slip away from them after they had a lot of success in the earlier rounds. Smiley, though, looking to try and beat the Clair and carry them on home to victory. Montreal going for the D push. Smiley finds it out, laying down some smokes, but you really cannot contest that while you have the classic in your hand. Blind goes out, Smiley back into a corner, but that's that Vice wall we haven't seen too much of yet. Walking off the site, playing a lot of nice time for the Saints, picking them all off. Shinji finding one, though. Smiley finding another. That wall going to be a real hindrance, though, to Smiley, even though it's his teammates. Lulu finding one on Fair. Smiley going to shut that down. It's 2v3. St. Clair College in the winner's seat right now in terms of lives. If they can win this pistol round, they'll reclaim their spot in the league by a significant margin. And that's going to be Caillou finding the double kill. It's 5-8. Montreal only needs 3 rounds to bring this one back. The Saints definitely feeling the pressure here. You know, I can definitely tell they're not playing the silly stuff they were doing in on Ascent. They don't want this one to slip right through their fingers. They want to try and keep a sound mind, you know. You don't want to let things start to slip. You don't want to let things start to take away from your gameplay here. And now we go back in. It's on A site. We go over to Truth. Will he be able to dispel all the lies they've put up here? All the smokes, all the things it's hard to discern through. I don't know if that question is going to be answered, because Axkin is going to be asking himself, where'd this wall come from? From that headlock, and wow, Truth almost shuts that one down. Just one bullet away from death. Axkin just barely gets out. Lulu, though, with the Bucky of all things, finds the headshot. Truth with the force by turning around the corner, looking to find something here, and they do. Shutting down the sky. Gotta be careful with that heal, it really gives away your position. And now Truth moving in on through. They have a decent gun. Axkin, if they just slide around the corner, just a few bullets will pull Axkin's death, and that's going to be it. That's going to be enough. Step finding another. They're being whittled down to one. Loshar, beautiful headshot with the Outlaw. But I don't know if that's going to be enough at this point. You can't quite compete with that. Truth finding one more kill. 4 kills in the round. That's almost an ace. An absolutely beautiful performance from Truth and the rest of the Saints. As we look at the scoreline, 9-5, that's a full-time job, everybody. That's a lot of work. There's a lot of work left to be done here. It may seem like a close scoreline, but Montreal needs to win 4, and so do the Saints if they want to take this one all the way. We're right in the middle of things pretty much here. Asking, this could go either way. He's asking his team, should we push this A site? We found success on A before. Will we find it again? Lulu finding some success over on Luka, but Smiley shutting that one down. You get the 1-for-1 trade, but it's your best person. Probably not the absolute bruiser on the side of the Saints. I don't know if that trade is worth it if you're Montreal. Now they're backing off. They're playing it slow. They have spikes still in their hands. But with the deadlock wall up, they're asking themselves a lot of questions on where they should push. It's coming down to a standstill at the moment. We have 52 seconds on the board, 1 minute left. Smiley, top kill leader for the Saints as of right now, over on that side. So you're really walking into a wasp's nest at this point. Maybe there's only one wasp, but that's going to be the queen bee over on B site. They're really having some indecision here. Sure, the deadlock wall is down now. You might have gotten one Saint to rotate over, but you had Fair rotate over to the backside. But Fair not landing any of those shots. That's very uncharacteristic of Fair. That's the opening you need if you need Montreal's win. Here we go, Caillou in the corner. Once again, Judge prime and ready. The Dragon ready to breathe fire and brimstone all over the enemy team. It's going to be Smiley being taken down by Jojo. Caillou slowed down, stuck in this corner. And I mean, you got to get the one pump here with this Judge. And wow, defenders get the win. They get the Ninja defuse. Montreal not able to even try and shut that one down. Just too much indecision once again. The Saints, though, they are not in a firm lead by any means. I mean, Montreal still being able to buy such expensive weapons, such good util. They're making every round very, very difficult for the Saints to win. But it seems like the Saints have found the rhythm. They're going back and forth, opening between A and B, really stacking up A because you just take that forward right over to B, and it's pretty much Luka at the safe side. Truth sliding in, trying to get some value there. They find one, Truth finding another, 3 left, and make that 2 left as they're finding these picks. Finally gets the revive, which I don't even know if you needed it at that point. I mean, maybe you needed for the confusion of the enemy, keep things exciting. Nevertheless, keep your gun going to the next round. I think that was it, because you really don't have too much money. Now, 11-5 is the scoreline. The Saints just need 2 rounds, and this could be the last round Montreal has to bring good weapons in. They have 3 ults to try and bring themselves back into the game. This is looking to be the decider for this entire series and who will advance into the next game in the Canadian Esports Nationals. Truth popping the ultimate, gets it in line, but the flash is gonna linger for quite a bit there. Sure, you shut down the Phoenix ult, but that's not a kill. Vice ult goes through, that's not gonna shut down the ultimate, but he does open up the kill for Axkin. Jojo going in with that Sky value, keeping things up and ready. The spike being planted down by Axkin, investing everything you have in this round because this is it. This is your do or die situation, but it's going to be die as 3 of them fall down. Jojo finding 1, 2, can't quite find it, and now you do commit the ultimate here if you're this deadlock Caillou on the side of St. Clair, but for what reason? You're just wasting at that point. I think you're just trying to back up the team. And now you are on match point. Just 1 more round stands between you and advancing through this bracket in the Esports Nationals. Now, if you're Montreal, you got to be having some rough mental thoughts right now. 7 rounds stands between you and the overtime. But is that realistic? Is that a realistic expectation to set? No, but you have to set it. You have to try and keep the dream alive. You cannot give up. You have to keep on playing, as every round matters. It's just taking it one round at a time, and you may pave yourself a road to victory. Truth, finding a lot of bullets in the head there. Smiley and Seth finding a showstopper and a headshot kill right there. It's 3v4, make that 3v2 as Loshore finds an absolutely beautiful spray, taking out 2 of the Saints. 2 of the Saints remain on A site. They're going to be meeting right there in that corner. There's a skirmish over on the backside. Loshore going to win that one out. Smiley moving in on through, finds a headshot. It's a 1v2, no revive for Smiley. This round is looking to be absolutely intense. They lay it down, the thrash goes out, it absolutely misses. They fake the defuse, they have to spray it, finds 1, fake another, move back in, finds 2, that's going to be 4 kills for Smiley. And that's going to be St. Clair College winning this series in the Canadian Esports Nationals and advancing forward in a clutch situation of all things against Université de Montréal. And what other way is there to end it? St. Clair College had an absolutely amazing run through this entire game. I mean, 13-5. They won the other map absolutely handily, and you have to give props to Smiley. Combat score of 395. That is absolutely amazing, especially when your opponent is on the level of Université de Montréal. But with all that being said, folks, that's all we've had on display today. But you don't want to miss more Canadian Esports Nationals, so make sure to go follow the Canadian Esports Nationals Twitter and the Saints Twitter. I'm pretty sure we'll have some up-to-date stuff if you're a Saints fan. We are on the Saints Gaming CA channel, after all. They'll keep you up to date on all things Canadian Esports Nationals related. But that's just today. They're going to be advancing in onto the next match, which I believe will be on Wednesday for VALORANT. So you don't want to miss that. Make sure you are there, everybody. With all that being said, that's all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and join us tomorrow for more Canadian Esports Nationals. I'm your host, Matthias Talbot. I'll see you again soon.